Hey everyone, welcome to this June weekly Plan With Me video. In this video, we will be continuing on with the capybara and oranges theme that I started earlier in June. If you haven't had a chance yet to watch my June monthly Plan With Me video, I'll link that in the description so you can watch it after this if you'd like. I decided to carry on with my no black fine liner challenge since I had already created all of the monthly pages in this manner. But I did discover that I really love using these Pentel brush pens for outlining and also for words and calendars. I found them so satisfying to outline my drawings with, and I will definitely be using these a lot more in the future. I'm not sure I ever would have used them for drawing, since I think they're mostly intended for lettering, but I'm so glad that I kind of accidentally stumbled upon using them for outlining my characters as well. So I usually like to erase my sketch lines a little bit before putting any sort of color down so that the pencil doesn't get trapped under the marker color. But lately I've been noticing I tend to erase too much, and that's why I forgot to draw the neck on this bottom capybara here. And so he just became a really buff little dude holding up these other two. And that's a story I'm sticking with because I refuse to let silly little mistakes like this bother me too much. I'm using the Pentel brush pens again for this calendar up here. And the other markers that I'm using are the Tombow dual brush pens. As usual, I will leave the color codes below in case you're interested in replicating this color palette for your own pages. I'm just adding a little bit of highlight onto this orange here, and then I'm starting to draw in the boxes for the days of the week. I'm drawing in 6-day boxes here, where one box will be for the weekend, and then I have one additional box for notes. Sometimes I like drawing these boxes without a ruler because it adds a somewhat cutesy look to the page, and sometimes I just straight up forget that I can use a ruler, which happened on the next page. But I think that's all part of the fun of discovering your style and what you like your pages to look like. And why I would also highly recommend trying out different prompts or challenges, because you might discover something that you like that you never would have thought to try out before. I learned a lot this month by challenging myself not to use any black fine liner, and there are definitely things that I discovered that I really like that I'll be using in future spreads now because of it. And I think that's how we evolve our style and find our personality through art that's unique to each of us. I'm adding a little shadow under the orange and the cappies and around these boxes to make them pop off the page a little bit. And here is how the week 1 layout turned out. Moving on to week 2 now, where I used the pattern I had created in the monthly spreads for the bottom decoration box on this page. But before I get to that, I'm just drawing in the calendar page here. I usually like to highlight what week the spread is for on the mini calendar, and this time I decided to match the numbers of that week to the color of the blue highlight, and I really enjoyed that look and carried it forward in the future weekly spreads. For the days of the week, I drew these oranges up here, and these will be for a vertical layout. So Monday through Friday will be vertical, and then I have a horizontal box at the bottom of the page for the weekend. I like to vary up vertical and horizontal layouts just for aesthetic reasons, absolutely not because of functionality, because I find that vertical boxes are a bit harder to fit all of my words into. But I think the pages look so cute, so I keep making them even though they're not as useful as horizontal boxes are for me. For numbering these day oranges, I used a brown brush pen and I doubled it up to make it bolder against the color of the oranges. I stuck to using brown more often on this page, and I think it gave it a warmer look than the gray I had used on the previous page. And again, I'm just drawing in these boxes freehand. This is where I wish I would have remembered to use a ruler earlier on. It's kind of strange to me how I can get in a rhythm of doing something in one particular way and just completely forget that there's a much simpler way of doing it. And now I'm working on the patterned box I was talking about earlier. I've seen people use patterns like this in their pages, and I think it's just such a cute way to bring the theme into whatever layout you're working on, because you can make large or small pattern boxes depending on how much space you have, and it really adds so much cuteness to the page. When I created this design as part of the calendar spread in the monthly video, I just knew I would have to bring it into the weekly spreads as well because it was so fun and I love the colors. I think orange is such a vibrant and summery color, and I've really enjoyed having it in this monthly theme. I have a small sticker shop on Etsy, and I've been thinking about creating monthly sticker sheets that would go with the themes that I'm creating. So for this month, there would be oranges as day stickers and different orange and capybara doodles. I was thinking that some of you are very busy, or maybe you don't enjoy drawing as much as I do, and this could be a fun way for you to still have a cute themed bullet journal, but in a somewhat done-for-you way. And if you're anything like me, I just absolutely love putting stickers on anything I can. So let me know what you think of this idea, because I think it could be really fun. I know I don't need one more thing added onto my plate already, but stickers are just always on my heart, and I'm always drawn towards making them, so this is something I've been thinking about doing again recently. And this is the final look for the week 2 pages. Moving on to week 3, which has a very basic layout, but some of my favorite doodles of this whole month. Just popping in a quick mini calendar here, and a little area for notes. And then getting started on a basket of oranges down here. There's something so cozy about a basket full of fruit. And I know summer literally just started, but this basket already has me thinking about fall. In my defense, fall is my favorite season, and I'm always looking forward to it, so it really doesn't take much. Sometimes I feel like I can overthink the doodles for my pages, but I felt like with the oranges, it was really easy to come up with ideas or ways to incorporate them on each page. I realized I used to subconsciously think the subject of a theme needed to be more complex than, say, a piece of fruit. But I'm learning now that sometimes simpler is better for me. Or maybe even that having more than one subject works best for me, like having both oranges and capybaras this month. I like to take note of where my brain seems to find obstacles in my art process and either challenge them or become aware of when those obstacles don't seem to be as much of an issue and why that might be. I think when we can shed light on thoughts that may be holding us back, just the awareness of them makes them seem smaller and less of an issue the next time they come around. Hopefully this makes sense and is useful to even one person. These are just things that I think about and have found useful. I really enjoyed using only colored outlines with this basket of oranges, and I feel like it almost made the drawing look painted, which I thought was a really cool effect. Moving over to the other doodle on this page, which is this capybara daydreaming about orange juice. Usually I draw my characters with really big smiles, so his somewhat pensive expression just cracks me up. I've also found that I really enjoy adding thought bubbles to my art and stickers, and I think it's such a cute element to add to a character and gives us the feeling that we understand that character a little bit better. Or maybe that's just me relating to this capybara because I find myself frequently fixated on food and coffee. Speaking of which, I think it's time for coffee. So I'd love to know what themes you all are creating this summer, or what your favorite themes have been from other artists that you've seen. It's always amazing to me to see all of the new designs and creative ideas that everyone comes up with each month, and I just love being a part of this bullet journal community. Back to this weekly spread though, I'm using this pretty green color to essentially highlight each day of the week, and then drawing in the boxes, remembering to use a ruler this time. I erased my pencil lines a little bit too much again and ended up drawing this line a bit further down than I had wanted, but nothing a white paint marker can't help clean up. For this spread, I made 6 boxes, but this time I had enough room to give both Saturday and Sunday their own space. I'm using this green brush sign pen to write in the days of the week, and I'm going over the letters twice to make sure they're bold and easy to read. Then I'm adding in a drop shadow behind the boxes for a little dimensionality. And if you've watched my videos for any length of time now, you know that I frequently feel the need to break up these large boxes with pastel lines, so I'm doing that now. And here are the final week 3 pages. And now we're already on to the final weekly of the month of June. I'm just adding the boxes on here really quickly, just 6 boxes this time, where the weekend will share one. And then I'm matching the day of the week with the color of the box. Next, I'm just adding in my beloved little mini calendar here. I was very happy to be able to find space for it next to these 2 capybaras. The inspiration behind this theme actually came from this drawing, which is a tutorial that my friend Tatiana created. She actually has an amazing art community called the Kawaii Drawing Club, where I've gotten a ton of inspiration from and learned a lot of awesome techniques for drawing really cute characters. Every week she puts out a drawing tutorial like these 2 cappies, and then the community is invited to draw them in whatever way they feel called to. She also puts out multiple videos throughout the month about more specific techniques like choosing color palettes or creating characters from photos, and there are videos around mindset and how to create a business around your art, and so much more that I could go on about. I've joined quite a few different art programs in the past, but found that many of them were a bit too technical for me, when all I really wanted to learn how to draw was cute little characters. So when I found this club, I was really inspired by the art and easy to follow lessons, and I was able to find my style so much faster within the community. So I just wanted to mention this to anyone interested in learning how to draw kawaii style characters, because Tatiana is opening the doors to the club on June 25th, and they'll only be open for a short time. So I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in getting on the waitlist, and please feel free to reach out if you have any questions about it at all. So all that to say, you just never know where inspiration will come from. But when I saw this capybara tutorial, I knew I couldn't just draw these 2, but that I needed to make an entire theme around them. And I'm so happy I did, because this theme has made me very happy to look at all month. And I don't understand how it's the end of the month already, but thank you all for being patient with me while I edit this video in a less than timely manner. I'm just finishing up this page by adding the drop shadows and breaking up the boxes with the pastel lines as per usual. And here is an up-close look at the finished week 4 pages. And now for the final flip through of all of the June weekly spreads. I feel like I learned so much this month with challenging myself not to use black fine liner, and I had so much fun creating all of these pages. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Be sure to check out the June monthly video if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in the next one.